Well, I tell y'all what, we got some humdingers. I've been here all day so far. You see, this is a major highway. I'm 200 miles from the house right now too. I've actually taken down everything from the cones up there all the way down already. All the everything that was kind of easy to cut or shove it with the mini. I'm down to these last 3, 4, 5, 6, and I got to cut that maple and that wild cherry. So yesterday here, you see there's a fiber optic line right there. Asplunda came down through here, or that's what I was told, is Asplunda came down through here with one of them SkyTrak things on a trailer, and they actually hung the power line, ripped everything down, got the fiber optic, and down there where that big truck's coming out and where that bucket truck is right there, the power line comes off, and there was a little pie shape of trees right there, which was I was gonna have to throw them into the road to where that dump truck's coming out right there. But when they tore all that stuff down, they temporarily put the fiber up, and they put it, instead of putting it back on the same side where the power line was, they went on the other side of it. So I had to work with them all morning this morning to get them to move the fiber, get enough slack in it to move it to where I could cut those trees down there. And you talking about tight. I was up against that power line, the fiber, the road, the whole 9 yards. I didn't even pick the camera up to film nothing. I'm fixing to bomb these. I think I can cut this one right here. You see that bank, them things are on. I can cut these without, or a few of these without having to put a rope in it. I hope I can get all of them cut without having to put a rope in it. What it is, the guy has bought this property right here. I came over here 2 years ago and cut some tree. He lives down there, cut some trees down in his house a couple years ago for him. And then he wanted me to come back and do this. You see there was an old house place over here on top of the hill. So he's got it's a D65 Komatsu. He's got a bunch of equipment. That's a heck of a dozer too, man. So yeah, we're gonna bomb these things. I'm gonna cut that one. I've been running the 2 400s to start off with today. Then I'm fixing to swap over to the 661. Cut with it. This is gonna be a little challenging because of this bank. that's the guy I'm cutting for right there. I actually met him back in 19 at the Sunbelt Ag Expo, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. That's one. We got a few more to go. Man, working on that hill makes it tough, boy. That's the 500. I just running. He's moving them. That dozer. Thanks, cars. All right, so I'm gonna swap back to the 661 on that one. Move this saw down here a little bit closer to me. I'm out west trying to climb up this mountain, man. If that screen blacks out, just touch it right there. It's recording right now. shook the ground. Get in there and get that cherry and that maple, and that'll be it. A lot too cutting them. Some funky spots like that, man. Have to be careful with them, because you ain't sitting right with a mini either. Well, I decided I'd help old Mitch out before I got on the road heading back toward Columbus. And I'd take all these trees that I cut, because, you know, if you're on a bulldozer and you're trying to cock these things around, man, it can be very difficult. So I hopped up there real quick. I had to go back toward the truck and trailer anyhow. So I figured as I was making my way across, I'd just pick some of this stuff up and throw it crossways to where he could grab this stuff and carry it on to the burn pile over there. He's going to completely clean this thing up, fence it in, and get it fixed up. So I mentioned the first video I was 200 miles from the house. This is actually over in a place called Wadley, W-A-D-L-E-Y, Wadley, Alabama. And that road up there where I was talking about where those trucks were coming out, if you'll look on the map, you can find this area pretty easy. There is a huge granite mine there in the area. So over there where this is, there's nothing over there. Really, no phone service to speak of. And all it is logging, some farming, chicken houses, and that mine in this area. It's this area is real close to the Georgia Alabama state line all the way across the other side of Alabama. So I deal with these utility companies all the time, and this was a fiber company that was dealing with, and they're, in my opinion, I'd say they're probably the worst ones to deal with. Not saying that in a bad way, but man, you know, these folks, they mess people's property up a lot. They got right-of-ways and everything, but I mean, dang, when they ran the temporary, they completely secluded. There's about 25 or 30 trees there that they secluded on Mitch's property. The bad thing is when they ran that temporary fiber back through there to get it up, to get everybody going, they had that thing zip tied in the trees that I needed to cut. We first approached them and they were like, there's no way we can't do what y'all need to do to get those trees down. And that's the way AT&T and a lot of the fiber companies are. They don't want to work with you or anything. The gas, the power, all those guys like that, man, they drop services for me all the time, take lines down. Man, those guys are really good. And it doesn't matter on the electrical side. You know, you get them out there, talk to them, you call them in advance, tell them what you want to do. And man, they're more than happy to work with you and accommodate you and stuff like that. But this guy here, he's like, no, it'll be after the first of the year. Me and Mitch just kind of kept talking to him and telling him, you know, hey, well, he said we don't have enough cable to move the line. You can't drop trees on it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to drop no trees on your cable, you know, whatever. Well, they had about 70 or 80 feet of slack on the other side of the road. And Mitch pointed that out. And the guy said, well, maybe we can get this thing fixed up next week. And I told him, he said, well, maybe we can get it. We kept talking to him. He said, maybe we can do something about it tomorrow, you know. I said, look, man, I said, I'm 200 miles from the house. I said, I came all the way over here. I'm from Mississippi. I came all the way over here to do this job. And when I said that, you know, I wasn't mean or anything like that. He said, and Mitch told me, he said, man, you got 80 feet of slack over here on the other side of this road. Let's just pull some of this stuff back and see if we can get enough slack to where we make this happen, you know, and get this done. So the guy said, he said, well, let me see what I do. They put the bucket truck up there, pulled that slack back. We pulled it all the way up to the intersection around the signs. And I said, look, I said, I've got it. I said, I'm dropping these trees right here. And the dude was still skeptical. He just knew I was going to tear up some stuff. And old Mitch walked over and he told me, he said, look, he said, this guy he has no idea what your capabilities are, what you can do with these trees. He said, they're fixing to see it firsthand. So I got in there, and keep in mind now, man, this thing I'm talking about is tight. I mean, I didn't have an inch to spare. It would have made an incredible video showing how I work these trees down. But dude, let me tell you, there's some of these things that I do, I am not screwing with a camera on. You know what I mean? It's enough stress and things on me trying to get these trees down and get them down safely. And oh, by the way, I've done left at 3 o'clock in the morning to roll over there to this and get it done. Got all them trees done, and old boy walked up. He said, he told old Mitch, he said, that's not his first time to do something like that right there. And Mitch told him, said, no. He said, you know. So anyhow, I will travel. I'll travel a couple times a year. It has got to be the right job, though, man. I mean, I field a lot of calls and questions from people about taking trees down. There's a lot of these areas, just like this area right here, there's nobody over there to cut trees. And the problem is, though, and you got to understand this, if I travel to take trees down, I'm going to get a premium plus to do the work. I mean, I don't hold back. And I told Mitch, I know Mitch, I've talked to him a bunch of times, took trees down for him a couple of years ago, like I said, and just a good old guy, but it's costly. I left at 3-something in the morning, drove over here, and I got back home about 7 that night. Lost a good bit of time dealing with the fiber optic company. I probably altogether lost pushing 2 hours dealing with them, and that was very frustrating, to the point to where I was almost borderline wanting to get mad. But if I got mad, it was just going to make things worse. I wasn't going to be able to complete the job if I got mad. So that's the thing you've always got to consider. You just kind of got to keep being nice and keep working with these folks, man. And they're just, you know, you just keep talking to them, saying, hey, you know, what about this? What about that? Even though they just don't want to freaking do it. And they didn't lose any time on their end accommodating me to make it happen. And it actually worked out better because it got the trees completely out of the way, so they don't even have to deal with them no more. It cleaned Mitch's corner up, and it's a win-win. It also got those trees off the Alabama Department of Transportation right away, just like these right here that I'm working with. And so just a win-win all the way around, and stuff. So like I said, it's this kind of work is so dangerous. There's such a liability, such a risk on doing it. And I price jobs all the time, and people freak slap out on what I price these jobs at, you know. And I don't apologize, and nobody should, for this kind of work. I'm working just like this right here on this bank. You can see them cars. The cars were blowing dust. I was so close to the road, they were blowing dust. Like when I'd fill the saws up with gas and oil, blowing dust over on me. They wasn't cutting me no slack coming down through there. Still coming down through there wide open. We had cones out everywhere. I mean, even I hear tow truck drivers all the time fussing about folks blowing by them, you know, and everything. One of the worst ones that came by running the fastest was a daggum tow truck, just flying down through there. And I'm like, what the heck? But I just kind of focus on my job at hand and take these trees down. Make this stuff look very, very easy. Rook says it all the time. He said, man, we make this stuff. He said, we make it look too easy, you know, and everything. But, you know, when you've got X amount of equipment and, you know, this stuff that we run around with to do this work, you better make it look easy, you know what I mean, and get it down. But enjoy going over there. It was a long freaking day, going all the way over there like that and doing this. I'm not sure. I burnt one of my 400s. I put 5 tanks of gas through that one saw, and the 661, I put a couple of tanks of gas through it. This is the 500 that I'm running right here. That's Mitch on that D65. That's a beast of a bulldozer, man. Holy cow. That's a heck of a machine. I mean, he could take those whole wads and just shove the whole things over to his burn pile. So he's going to have his place fixed up. He deals with the chicken houses. He does push outs on chicken litter and then putting the sawdust back in the chicken houses and stuff. And I was talking to him, I said, how far do you cover? He said, I cover about a 80 or 90 mile radius around Wadley right there. And then I had the opportunity to meet his business partner too, which kind of follows me. And there was some other people that kind of keyed in on where I was and sent me some messages and everything off of posts that they were making and what have you. So pretty cool. It's a neat deal that I've got that where, you know, I'm out and about, people recognize me and you know, want me to do work for them and all. And I enjoy getting out and everything. I'm over 140 jobs currently for the year, and we'll see what shakes out, if I can hit 150 or not for the year. I'm not sure that I've got 150 in me, man. I'm about done. But I tell you what, I appreciate y'all watching and all the comments and the people tagging along and everything. So y'all just finish the rest of this video out and leave a comment down below. And man, if you ain't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, man. I want to keep growing this thing and keep rolling. Been doing it for a long time, since 2009. And this next year will be my 10th year of consecutively posting a video every day or almost every day for 10 solid years. That is nuts, because people have no idea what it takes to do what I do day to day and keep up the social media aspect that I do day to day. It is insane how I make all that stuff work. So appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters. This was the last chunk. I went to grab this thing. Watch this. I grab it. I was like, oh, don't go down that hill for God's sakes, because that was the biggest one to get right there. And I was like, man, I may not be able to get this and back up on the hill whole without having to cut it in half. But the old Kubota, that machine is so strong, y'all. That is a tough machine right there. But anyway, I got it on there. I was going to add this too. Over there and back, it was about 420 miles round trip for me to go. And my Ram 5500, with it being deleted now, pulling those hills, there's a lot of hills going across Alabama, going toward Birmingham, coming out of Birmingham, going toward the state line, Talladega. I averaged 8.9 miles per gallon on the round trip, which is nuts, pulling that mini excavator all the way over there and back. I want to say this too, Ashland, Alabama, whoever laid that town out back during the day, boy, Lord have mercy. There's a turn, those y'all who are familiar with Ashland, Alabama, there's a turn there in that town that is next to impossible to make. It is tight in a passenger car to make, let alone a truck in a trailer, in a big truck. A lot of big trucks come through there. A lot of y'all, like I know, y'all probably laugh and know exactly which one I'm talking about. It's got a barricade right there to keep from the building from getting hit, but that barricade gets tore up all the time right there. And because I noticed all the black marks and how it's all bent up there. But geez Louise, some of these towns are rough to navigate through. Talladega's pretty tight coming down through there, man. Lordy mercy. Anyhow, hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Appreciate you, Mr. Mitch, having me over here and wanting me to do the work for you, buddy. See ya.